Hello, beloved ones. Wonderful to be with you today. I want to focus on something that I feel is very important today, and that is grief. Particularly the grief that you might or have experienced due to a loss. Now, everyone's life is filled with gains and losses. Things come into your life, things leave your life. People come into your life and people leave your life. Now, depending on the person or the thing, can affect the individual very differently. But what is important to understand is that all loss has some kind of an impact on your life. You are going to feel something because of each and every loss that you experience throughout your life. And those feelings are very mixed, right? There can be relief, there can be sadness, there can be anger, there can be joy. Sometimes letting go of things that are a burden creates a great joy when they are gone. So it's not so much the kind of feeling, but what is vital is allowing yourself to have your feelings. And today I want to focus more on significant loss. Loss of a loved one, loss of one's home, the losses that are very close to your heart, that affect your life in a big way. Loss is frightening for the person that it's happening to, and it's also frightening to the people around you. Right? So if you experience a loss, one of the things you may have also experienced is people's inability to say or do the right thing, right? And you may have also been one of those people where someone you're close to has experienced a terrible loss, and you did not know what to say or what to do. There is so much pain involved in loss, significant loss. Whether you are the one experiencing the loss or you are someone who has an individual in their life who has experienced a terrible loss. The pain that is present is tangible, it's palpable, it is so obvious, it is so present. And that can be one of the hardest things to deal with for everyone involved in the loss. Because the magnitude is going to hit everyone different, in different ways, at different times, and the way it's hitting you may not coincide with the way it's hitting someone else in your life. There can be a great pressure to quickly get over your loss. let's say, for example, you have discovered that your spouse is having an affair, and the loss of everything you believed about your marriage or your connection is shattered. Right? It all changes seemingly in a moment. And right away, everyone's telling you what to do, right? Oh, well, you have to fix it. You have to come at that person with love and be strong. You have to go to therapy. You have to have marriage counseling. You should do this or do that. Leave them, stay. It can be extremely painful to receive other people's projection, their judgment, their opinions, their ideas in the midst of your loss. Because there's a desire for everyone involved to hurry up, get past the loss, right? Find the solution, fix it. It's broken, so let's fix it, right? There's a rush for that to happen. And while some people are pretty good at making room for their feelings in the midst of all that, others are not. It's easy to sort of give in to the pressure of those people who don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. They see your pain, and because they love you, they want you out of pain as quickly as possible. And it also then they get to not be reminded of their own pain, so it's very convenient for them. But what can often get lost in that sort of fix-it mindset when it comes to loss is the grief. What I wanted to tell you today, most important, if you remember nothing else about this video, that there is no expiration date on grief. There is no expiration date on grief. The natural flow of grief due to a loss, any loss in your life, is very important to the process of healing, of ultimately and eventually moving beyond that loss so that you can re-engage with life in a way that is loving and supportive. And there is much written about the different stages of loss and grieving, and they are valid. But people often don't like to acknowledge them. They don't like to think that they have to go through these different stages, that somehow they can skip a stage or two. But what tends to happen is that because you are all somewhat similar in living your lives as human beings, you will all go through those stages. But whether you go through them consciously or unconsciously can make all the difference. letting yourself grieve, giving yourself space consciously, right? Consciously giving yourself space. And that doesn't mean necessarily isolating yourself from others because they are stumbling to provide what you need. It just means that you may need to help them, to tell them what you need. To remember that you too have most likely said something or done something with a friend or a family member who's gone through a loss that was not particularly helpful, that really came from your own projection. So to remember that your loss is also felt by others, not so that you can take care of them, but so you can remember that most likely you will have to ask for what you need. You can remind people when they come at you with their opinions and you have to do this and that, you can say, that is not what I need right now. What I need is this. I just need a hug, or I just need to sit with you and cry, or I need to pace back and forth and rage and rant and rail. That's it. Or I just need to go for a walk and be quiet. Try to find some stillness. You will need time to yourself, but you will also need time with others. Grief is so much more than just sadness. Grieving is to face the longing inside of you. That thing that you've lost, or that person that you've lost, there was attachment. There was engagement. It fulfilled a part of you. And now it's gone, or they are gone from body. And everything shifts because of it. Everything. Right? Just like your physical body, everything is relating to everything else. There is nothing separate in your body. You are all one physical body, and it works all together. So too the people and things in your life. As you all know, a house is not just a house, but a home. And when the house is lost, when a marriage is lost, when a loved one dies, that loved one, that home, that marriage was connected to everything in your life. And so the loss will affect everything. Again, sometimes it has an enormously positive effect on your life. Maybe the marriage was terribly abusive, and it is a blessing that it is over. But don't let others talk you out of your sorrow, your pain, your fear, because it's over. Yes, that might be mixed with relief and eventually joy. But what you feel at the time of loss is vital to the overall healing. Don't cut yourself off from the space you need to feel what you need to feel. That, of course, is good advice for all of life, but particularly during a loss. And let yourself feel surprising things, right? If a loved one was sick for a very long time, and you are having feelings of joy that they are no longer in pain, and joy that you no longer have to be their caretaker every day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Try not to judge your grieving process. There can be every feeling, every emotion. Some you never thought would come in at a time like this, and yet, here it is. Let yourself have it all, beloved ones. So that moment by moment, day by day, week by week, that allowance will bring acceptance. And acceptance is that point of strength that starts you moving into re-engagement on a deeper level with the other people and things that are still in your life. Don't ever put your grief on a timetable. But don't use your grief to feed your self-pity or your shadow for too long. Self-pity is different than sorrow. Learn the difference and don't fall prey to self-pity. Genuine sorrow, genuine grief from a loss is natural. Self-pity is saying that things should not have happened the way they happened. And while there may be some of that, if you get caught and trapped in that, you are living in a very childish life, right? Because it happens the way it happens. You cannot change that. Once it's done, it's done. But you can have all your feelings that will eventually lead to acceptance. But just be careful of self-pity. And give yourself a normal amount, but don't get lost in it. It can hijack your grief, and all of a sudden it twists it around and makes it something what it really is. And always know, beloved ones, that I am there for you in your grief, in your loss, to hold your hand, to remind you of love. And that I support you no matter what. I love you, I cherish you. We are one. Namaste. Hi, it's Danielle, creator and founder of Beloved Publications, your home of Mother Mary's teachings as they're channeled through me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. If you're interested in more of Mother's teachings, please visit our website, www.belovedpublications.com. And there you'll find lots of great ways of connecting with Mother. And if you want to join our community, you get an awesome free mini course on preparing for and connecting with your spirit guides. You will love it. So I hope to see you there soon. Thanks so much.